And we're back, and we are talking with Leo Hamlin, and he is the owner of Hamlin Coaching. His website is Hamlin, which is Hamblin, and it's coaching.com. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. We have everyone getting entered in to win. This is a free assessment that you do. You obviously have to get to know them. And you're going to get the book. It's Attitude Reflects Leadership. And he wrote it, and our number here again is 602-277-5369. Let me ask you a question. You wrote the book because you said that you could not find anything out there that was working. Right, and you felt that you had more tips and this and that. When somebody works with you, do they kind of work with the book along with you? Is that how you do that?
Somewhat, not really. I've got other workbooks and things that I put them through.
Okay.
I wrote the book, believe it or not, for therapy for myself. Like I said, I have a degree in mathematics, not in English, and I reached a point in my life where I just became frustrated with what was out there and how people were being treated. A previous manager of mine that I had mentored and trained, and she was brilliant. I mean, this woman was just an amazing leader. She went back to school, went to work. I met her later on, and she told me, Leo, I wake up every morning hating my job. I want to quit. And I think it just was the last straw. I'd heard that so much throughout my life that I thought, you know what, it started out as therapy. Someone told me, you know what, why don't you sit down and just open your computer and start writing? So I did. I just began to dump, into my laptop all the, anger and the leadership that's out there and how unappreciated this lady was. It just motivated me to get it all on paper. And it turned into a book. The first draft was not really for anyone but my eyes. I had to really tone it down, and there were a lot of things in there. I began to write it. I wanted it to be a quick read, maybe 2 hours for a manager to pick up, read it, and say, wow, you know what, I can do this. So it's, full of meat, and that's really why I wrote the book.
Well, our lines are open here, and everyone's getting entered in to win. It's Attitude Reflects Leadership. You're also going to get a free assessment that goes along with that. And again, our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free is 1-866-536-1100. Hamlin is Hamblin, coaching.com. So, making you different. You said that some of the things that you were talking about at the break that make you different. Well, again, you had more things that you wanted to say.
Well, one of the examples I wanted to give was, most people know about professional athletes like Tom Brady. A lot of these guys, they'll hire a coach in the off season, and you ask yourself, well, let's see, he's probably the greatest quarterback to ever play the game. Why would he need a coach? And it's because they want to continue to work and to get better. And business is the same way. A lot of businesses, Apple, Google, Intuit, a lot of these professional corporate businessmen have coaches. In fact, the coach that used to coach these companies recently died, I think, last month, Mr. Campbell. But a coach is different in that, when I first started this, I thought, well, I'll be a consultant. I have the experience, all that. But it was too sterile. A consultant will come in and analyze and then, give you a recommendation of what you should do, collect the fee, and leave. That doesn't really, do it for me. The coach will bring it out in you and be there hands-on. I'm the coach on the sidelines. I want to win. If you don't win, then I'm not that good of a coach. I'm vested in you winning. You already know your business. You're the expert. You already know what to do. I'm going to coach you to get you to win.
Now, there's threats to any business. What is the biggest threat to productivity?
Well, one of the quickest ways to, and it happens every day, one of the quickest ways to demotivate employees and productivity is to make a promise and not deliver. And leadership, and it's because of leadership. They don't quite understand the ramifications of their actions and what they do to their employees by these little promises or even big promises that they never keep. Many, many times I've coached my managers and the people I've taught that great leaders do not speak with their words, they speak with their actions. And this happens good or bad. Employees do not listen to the words coming out of a leader's mouth or their manager's mouth. Employees listen to the actions the managers take, which many managers and leaders don't understand and don't see. And because of that, it kills productivity. Many businesses that have gone out of business, I mean, you take a look at Sears, Radio Shack, all these big companies. I've studied them, I've researched them. It's all because of leadership. Well, I'll give you an example. Sears, in 1985, did away with the Sears catalog. That was the biggest thing in the world. I mean, everybody waited for the big Sears catalog. Well, guess who the big Sears catalog is now? Amazon. If they would have seen and had the foresight to realize that that catalog was who they were, they could have been the big online catalog instead of Amazon. You could buy anything through Sears with that great money-back guarantee and all that stuff. Well, now Amazon has it. And now Amazon is actually looking at Radio Shack stores to buy and purchase so that they can deliver within 24 hours. So it's just a matter of knowing who you are and the leadership staying with what they know and who they are and not getting outside of that.
And again, the businesses that you kind of work with, give them the idea of who would be your client.
Well, anyone that is going into business, I mean, if you want to, start it right from the beginning rather than fix it later. I've helped startups. I've helped large corporations of 500 employees or more.
How about a manager that's just listening here, that's just driving down, that's just a manager, and he works for a company,
Yeah.
Can you work with them? And there he's saying, you know what? He makes a lot of sense. I bet I can take my company's business to the next level.
Absolutely. For managers that have come from different areas or different industries, I have group trainings that they can be involved in. So they can be a part of a group, which also creates a better dynamic as well. They can learn from others, other industries, other, experiences.
Well, we've got our lines open here, and everyone who's calling in, you're getting entered in to win. First of all, you're going to get a free assessment, which you got to have. You got to get to know him. And he's got to get to know what it is that you do and learn a little bit about, get into your layers, is what he said. And again, you're also going to get the book, Attitude Reflects Leadership. He wrote the book, and we've got our lines open here. It's 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. You can also call him. He does do free consultations. The phone number is 801-556-1097. It's Hamlin, Hamblin Coaching.com. Okay, so we've got a few more minutes here to talk a little bit further about businesses. Why do they fail? All the time, businesses don't last very long. And I mean, I don't remember if I asked you before, but there's more than just like big businesses. There's businesses that they don't even last.
Yes, the statistics out there will tell you that odds are against a business succeeding. And it's because a lot of people get into doing something they're passionate about, but they don't understand business. Say like an attorney or a dentist, they know how to fix your teeth. They know little about running a business. And many dentists, many attorneys, many doctors are near bankruptcy because they don't understand what's required to run a business. It's not the lack of opportunity. In fact, many companies fail because of too much opportunity, because they grow faster than their good people will allow.
Can everyone be a leader?
Yeah, that's a good question. A lot of people want to know that.
I gotta know that. I'd like to know.
Yeah, here's my take on leadership. It's a bit of a paradox, and it's not about can I be a great leader. You already are a leader. The question is, where are you going? You have at least one person you're leading every day, and one person's following you, and that's you. The real question is, what kind of a leader do you want to be, and where are you going, and is that somewhere other people want to follow? And there are principles of leadership that can be followed because of that. I don't believe in any irrefutable laws of leadership, like there are a lot of books out there that like to state that. Leadership is a paradox. In other words, and I state this in my book, and this is, I guess I'm getting myself in trouble a little bit. You can't write a book about leadership, read it, and then go be a great leader. If you do, you'll be a follower.
So you have to practice it.
Right. Leadership is like the lead dog cutting fresh snow. You're on your own. You want to be a great leader, then take a risk.
Well, he wrote the book. It's Attitude Reflects Leadership. And our number here is 602. I'm going to let you keep on calling for the next 5 minutes here. 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. You're going to get a free assessment that goes along with that. He does do free consultations as well. You can call him direct at 801-556-1097. You can check him out at Hamlin, Hamblin Coaching.com. And keep on calling here, guys, and become a real leader at 602-277-5369. And toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Leo Hamlin, and he is the owner of Hamlin Coaching. Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Well, tell everybody a little bit about yourself and what you do, what makes you different.
Well, I started out with a degree in mathematics, so I kind of have an analytical mind. And mathematics basically disciplines your mind to take something complex and make it simple. But what was interesting, though, is as I went through life, I actually have a passion for human behavior, what makes people tick. And got lucky and kind of fell into business leadership and began to turn companies around. And I kind of fell in love with the process because it puts the two together. Business takes the complex and makes it simple and creates value. And in order to do that, you need to know people. And I just fell in love with the process of how people actually just want to be a part of something great and be appreciated and work hard.
Well, it makes sense because the business is the equation.
Yes.
That is a problem. Because all of these businesses, we have them, and we have problems with them.
Many.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I also want to find out a couple of things about you, too. Are you Valley-wide? Can you help anyone from anywhere?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And do you do free consultations?
I do.
Okay. I understand that you are also an author of the book, The Attitude Reflects Leadership. That's a book, maybe more, I don't know.
Yes, I wrote a book, which is really strange because, you know, I have a degree in mathematics, never really liked English much. So it was quite a process for me to actually write a book. I did it, though, because in my study, I read a lot of leadership books, a lot of motivational books, self-help books, all these things, and there just was nothing in there that I felt I could take and apply immediately. There's a lot of definitions of leadership, a lot of different opinions and things, and there's some philosophies that I truly believe in that work because I've done it that I couldn't read anywhere. So I decided to write a book because some of the things I have are much different than you could learn anywhere else. Okay.
Can you enlighten us on those things?
Sure. Yeah. One of the big issues I have, and it's a fundamental problem that businesses in America have. We have, and I've had many debates with CPAs over this because I need a question answered. As a leader, I was a director over managers and employees and that. One of the questions I wanted to ask them was, what's my return on my employee? I'm investing in this employee, what's my return? They can't answer that because they look at payroll and they always put it on the expense side of a financial sheet. When in my belief and the way I manage was that if your people are truly an asset, shouldn't they be on the asset side? Shouldn't they truly be considered an asset? Because if this fundamental principle was lived and acted upon, people would stop they would stop feeling like an expense all the time and would truly begin to feel like an asset because it would be measured. And management is all about measurement. And so that was one of the ways I managed and coached people, is that to not just look at people as an asset, but to truly treat them this way. And there's a return. You need to know the return you're getting off your employees.
Well, when you work with a company, does it matter what size company?
No, it doesn't.
Do you specialize in an area at all?
I have my favorites, but I don't specialize. Business is all the same. Business creates value. The real key, the question is, how do I create this value through other people? And this is where business gets tripped up a lot. That's why there's so many motivational books out there. There's tons of motivational books, motivational seminars, motivational coaches that will come in and get your people all motivated, which is something I don't believe in as well. It makes me different. I don't believe that I can motivate anyone. I believe that management by nature demotivates. whether you like it or not. When you're put into a management position, the position itself naturally demotivates, and you need to be aware of this and do your best not to demotivate. Look at it this way. When you hire someone, they come in motivated. They want to be hired. They want to impress you. They want to get a raise. You know, they want to extend, maybe make a career out of it. They want to build something for themselves. They are motivated. Well, then look at them 3 weeks, 3 months down the road, and what happened? What happened to the motivation? Well, management happened. Management demotivated them. According to Gallup, over 71% of the employees out there in the workforce are unhappy at work. Yet, there are many leadership books out there, many motivational books out there, many seminars and things on how to motivate your employees, incentives. Why is it that then that 71% of them are unhappy at work?
You know, it's amazing. You also do a free assessment, and I want to know what that means.
Yes. In order for me to coach someone, another unique thing about me is that I coach everyone differently because everyone's different. So I need to do an assessment and get to know you intimately, because the things that are in your way are many of the beliefs that you have about yourself or about management or about leadership or whatever it is that we need to work on. And so I have an assessment that I use, and then also some of the things I've learned, some of the skills that I have to get to know you better, to help coach you.
I'm going to open up the lines to the audience so that they can call in. We're going to give away, everyone's going to get entered in to win. First of all, you're going to get a free assessment along with the book. It's Attitude Reflects Leadership. And he wrote the book, and our number here is 602-277-5369, and toll free it's 1-866-536-1100. Everyone's getting entered in to win. Okay, so let's go back to something that you said. I got to do something that's not even on here, because you mentioned now that management, that they motivate people, right?
Yes.
So then where do you come in, right? What do you do when you come into a business and you start working with their management team, I'm assuming, and help them not demotivate people?
Well, in order to do that, the real key is to be self-aware. In other words, management does a lot of things that they don't realize demotivates their employees. One of the big ones, in my opinion, is, say, time off. Here's a benefit that the company states at hire. This is what you earn. It's a perk. You've earned it. Yet, when it's time to use it, they're very restrictive with it. Now, they may have good reason to be or whatever, you know, they need coverage, all the other excuses that they use, but they promised it as a benefit. Yet, it's rationed. This demotivates. When you feel like you've earned time off and the time off's there for you to use, but then you're told no, or you didn't tell us in time, it sets inside a feeling of being unappreciated for what you've done. Mm-hmm. And management leadership doesn't realize that. It's these little things that they do.
Well, I guess they just think of it as, well, we got to run a business. That's the bottom line, right?
That's right, right.
Right?
Right.
Okay. So, again, what makes you different is that you're what?
What makes me different? Many of the philosophies that I have, like I just stated, I don't believe in motivating. I believe in hiring motivated people and keeping them motivated. And many other things. It's my business, it's me, and I do the assessment, get to know you intimately so that we overcome your issues specifically, rather than me just telling you what to do.
Do you go to them? Do you actually go into their businesses?
Yes, I like getting to know them. Their culture tells me a lot about who they are as a leader. The leader is in control of the culture. So I learn a lot just by getting into the workplace, getting into their lair, their den, you know, and seeing what they're all about, so that it helps me coach them as well.
Well, we've got our lines open here for everybody to get entered in to win. It's in a free assessment. He does free consultations with everyone as well. You want to check him out. His website is Hamlin, which is HAMBLING. I'm sorry, no G. Hamlin Coaching hamlincoaching.com. His phone number is 801-556-1097. And we've got everyone who calling in getting entered in to win. It's a free assessment, and his book, Attitude Reflects Leadership. And our number here is 602-277-5369. And toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Before we go to a break, what would be your final words just before we go to a break to motivate some of those people out there?
Well, if you're a manager out there, stop bossing people around and start measuring. Managers measure. And you should be learning what you should measure most and stop measuring that which matters least.
Well, our lines are open here and everyone's getting entered in to win. We're going to go to a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk further about some of the things that he can do for us. The number is 801-556-1097.